between Arsenal and Chelsea at the Stamford Bridge. A lot of talk before that game, a lot of talk during the game, and now there's going to be a lot of talk after the game. Arsenal went into that game arguably as the best team in Europe. They probably still are. Chelsea went in as the team that goes into big games and shows their mettle. They settled in, albeit with a casualty. Moises Caicedo, who was pitched up against Declan Rice to see who would rise to the occasion in the middle of the park. Moses could not cross the Red Sea.
But I've stopped the argument.
We're again there. Moses couldn't cross the Red Sea because he was shown a red card and he was out.
His name is not Moses, it's Moises.
Moises, Moises is
Moi.
If in our rice, Moi could. Anyway, but let's take a cursory look at that game, and I want us to break it down under different parameters. First of all, let's start with a tactical outlook of the game, and I'll start with you, Adjor. Looking at how both managers set up.
A
lot of people felt it was an overly tactical game.
It was clear on the touchline.
So you are a Chelsea fan. Were you impressed with Maresca's setup for that particular game? And you want to run us through the setup that Maresca put out for that game, so, his build up and everything like that.
The Neto one was surprising to Chelsea fans. We were all expecting Garnacho getting to be on the left, not Neto. So that was that we knew. I concluded that Esteban won't start this game. So to be Neto on the right wing, and we'll have Joao Pedro as number 9 and Enzo as a 10 because Palmer is not ready yet. But not even the approach, Kosi, from Maresca anymore. It's the in-game reading of the games. It's the in-game management. It's the learning on the job rapidly. Because this same season that people were bashing him that, I mean, how do you get a record against United and panic? The same United that Everton didn't panic and won comfortably against them at Old Trafford. So imagine our coach didn't panic after that red card. Maybe we get results there. And quickly, it's the same season after a month.
Well, we watched the game at ANC Corner, and a lot of people said that Maresca has grown from that. Because against Man United, they felt, listen, if he had kept his cool,
So the lineup was for Neto to press, Esteval to press, keep Calafiori a little bit not to overlap, and also for Joao Pedro to press. So Joao Pedro of the ball was above average, on the ball was below average. Maresca goes in wanting his forward line to press because, trust you, Arsenal this season, their build-up is 2 variations, and it's spot on. Before this game, no club, not even Bayern, could stop how they start their build-ups. 2, the one that they'll bring Usmendi deep as a CCB and open Gabriel and Chalobah, whoever is playing, as a right centre back and a left centre back, or the one that you have a pivot of Declan Rice and Usmendi sitting to start the build-up. So you don't, if Rice comes to kick the ball, he's not going long, but you know which of these 2 variations is how to execute. Maresca was able to cancel all those one. For Arsenal's lineup, you're talking about lineup, right? I mean, it was what we all expected. But big shout to Hikapi. I mean, he showed that he had already been groomed to the Arsenal system. I wasn't bothered. But if you allow me to go into what Arteta did wrong, I can start.
No, let's look at what they did right.
So for both teams, the lineup was spot on. They cancel each other out. Saka and Cucurella, Gusto, confusing the midfielders in the attacking areas. It was spot on. The lineup was for the Tutis was okay.
Elikem, the absence of Gabriel Magalhaes and William Saliba, did they have any effect whatsoever?
They had a big effect. That was basically the Arsenal. That was basically affected everything Arsenal did on the day. Because if you watch the game very well, you watch the body language of Arsenal's midfielders, they weren't as confident as to what was going on behind them like they would have been if Gabriel and Saliba were on the pitch. Let me take one instance, for example, Zubimendi's yellow card. Had it been Gabriel or Saliba, he wouldn't have gone in for that tackle.
But was that even a yellow card? I felt it was too harsh, that yellow card.
I think it was. I think in the context of it being early in the game,
it was too
and
hard.
in the London derby, maybe we could say, but it was a.
No, listen, there were tackles before that.
You understand?
That should have warranted yellow cards.
Exactly.
So I said, listen, it was way too
But
harsh.
you see, we'll come back. I have a problem with the referee and how he handled the game, but we'll come back to that. But for me, I felt the Arsenal players were a bit cagey, in that they were all worried about what was going on behind them. And that is not to say Piero Hincapié and Christian Mosquera are bad players. They are just not ready for it in that kind of game. You could see how pumped up Chelsea were for the London derby. All Chelsea made for them. Maybe that was me. That might have been both a good and a bad thing for them, because you could see that they were all pumped up. There was so much intensity in the game. I listened to Reece James in his interview after the game, and he said that they expected 2 red cards in the game. And I was surprised it came out from him. I was surprised it came out from him because for a player to tell you that should let you know what kind of game they, what kind of mentality.
The Chelsea red card, the Caicedo one. Why I explain when I have my time.
What kind of mentality they came into the game with? It's like they were playing a London derby. Arsenal were playing a game.
Yeah.
Because you watch how they celebrated every tackle, how they moved into tackles and all that. You could see that these guys were pumped up for it. So I felt that, coupled with missing your 2 best centre backs, who on the day would have equally been pumped up for it and gingered the whole team to move, to feed off their energy, was a big factor too. And you could see from Bryson.
But it's not just Arsenal fans making excuses. It was Chelsea as well. They had what's his name, Wesley Fofana, who's been injured for eons, come back into the team.
Yes,
etc.
You see, it's not excuses. The difference is this. See, in football, when you have 2 teams of equal quality, these little fine details and fine margins have an effect. They have an elaborated effect on results of the games. You understand? So let me give you an example. Arsenal started a week where they faced 3 of probably their most important games for different reasons. Tottenham, a local derby. It's always a big game in Arsenal season. Bayern Munich, the best team in Europe. You are going head to head with them, first against second. Then you face Chelsea, first against second again. It's a very, very intense week.
But Chelsea as well came off the back of Barcelona.
No, I'm building my points. It's a very, very intense week from an Arsenal point of view. You need your best players for that game. To lose your best centre back before the week was a blow. But to lose your second centre back before the last game, where your energy levels are down, where your intensity and everything is down, was an even bigger blow.
But they cannot cut you. Mosquera and Hincapié put in a good shit.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. They put in a good performance on the pitch, but the mental aspect of it, given the
this
team,
is the part where Hincapié was moving.
yes, but you see, given the team and the players, the comfortability. You see, there's a kind of comfort Gabriel and Saliba give our midfielders, in that you see Rice bombing for it without caring. But when you watch this game very well, you could see Rice caring more about what was going on behind him than what was going on ahead of him, because he knew, with the way Chelsea were pumped up and with the way Chelsea were coming. And let's not act like Chelsea are not a good side. Yeah. You are not playing against Brentford, Wolves, or anything. This is Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Yeah. You don't beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge easily. So you could see that everything the Arsenal midfielders did on the day, because you look at that tackle from Mendy told me everything I needed to do. Because as soon as he knew he lost the ball, you are not getting past me. That was him. You are not getting past me. Yeah. Had it been Gabriel and Saliba behind him, would have taken a chance, because he knows at least there's surety at the back. But when you have 2 defenders who had started only 1 Premier League game before the Stamford Bridge game, you are a bit skeptical about what is going on behind it. So I feel that was what happened. That was how it affected the game. Not that these 2 players are not good enough, but having that surety and that comfortability of playing behind these 2 centre backs for the entire season, then losing them ahead of probably the biggest encounter in the season so far. I mean, it will take its toll, and I felt on the day that was the biggest thing. That was what took away. That was one of the factors that took a lot away from Arsenal's midfield.
But for a team that is gunning for the title and major trophies, I mean, your depth should be your strength.
Yes, and it is. If you watch this season, that's why they didn't crumble. That's why they've not crumbled. You look, Arsenal have suffered injuries this season, no? But because of the depth, we've not noticed it. No team will survive with the kind of attacking injuries Arsenal have had this season. Arsenal have 3 strikers at the point they were all injured so much that Merino was doing centre forward shifts. Do you know how crazy that is? We speak about Arsenal buying a lot, but did you imagine at the start of the season that at points will come in the season where Merino will be playing centre forward for Arsenal?
And playing it well too.
You see? So yeah, you will come to that. So you see, that's the thing. The depth has been shown in certain games this season, but it can only carry as far as it could. And I thought this game was one where after the injuries to Chalobah, Arteta was like, look, let's just get this game over and done with. For me, that is how I felt. It was like, let's just get this done and over and done with, because it's like it's just too much.
The King Adjor.
Yes.
You want to walk us through that red card to Moises Caicedo?
Yeah, and how
and how it affected the game. Was it overzealous Moises Caicedo who allowed the hype to get into his head?
It happened. No, not the hype. 50-50 tackles. I mean, when you both show the stud and everything in the boots, I mean, it happens. But for me, the funny part is that I planned it with him. Because
can you walk us through that? How did you?
On Instagram, I can give that to he needs to rest because December curve we can do without him for some games.
So next year,
mind you, Leeds is
Bournemouth
easy.
And who's the next one?
Everton.
I think okay, Leeds, Bournemouth, Everton.
We'll do them and face a big club in December. So he will come back so that we didn't have preseason, a good preseason. The club World Cup. So this one's going to chill with the daughter. They are flying to Dubai. To go and have fun. He'll be back.
So it's just you just wanted Caicedo to rest.
Yes, rest.
And Dario Sugo to his back.
He's back. So we've planned it, don't worry.
Andre Santos to his there.
Form.
But Reece James in the middle of the park.
I enjoyed Reece James in midfield and all the Arsenal.
A bit of the red card before. A bit on the red card. I'm going to say something I haven't said about Caicedo before, because actually, regardless of the banter we've had about Declan Rice versus Caicedo, I actually see him as a very good player. But I feel like the red card incident and his performance in the first 35 minutes showed me I should never doubt his age. He's a very young player.
Okay.
I think that's just his age showed that performance, because I felt he got carried away by the occasion.
Yeah.
You look at the very first, the 3rd minutes of the game, Timber incident. Yeah. Timber was running down the ball and he ran and badged him.
Yeah, it was a body check. It wasn't even a foul.
No, they didn't call it for a. But you see, it wasn't a body. You see, a body check is when you go shoulder to shoulder. He hit him at the back. And it wasn't. You see, and that it was a very needless tackle.
And it wasn't even called as a foul.
And you see, yes, that's his understand. You understand. And one funny thing is his reaction after the tackle. He was charging the fronts up.
Yeah. So
that told me that no, this guy is
too much.
This guy has. He's not dealing with the emotions of the game very well. But then secondly, there was another tackle. He did on Gabriel Jesus. Eze was facing his own
and
goal.
He pushed him.
And he came, and I'm like, come on. So over then, that's the only thing I found wrong with Reece James on the day was had to do with that incident. After that incident, as a captain, he should have called him and calmed him down.
No, even he pumped up more.
Yeah, but it seemed, that's the thing. The point was, all of them were pumped up.
I think, let me also say this for the Chelsea fans. I think people demand or ask them to show that physicality
because they are the youngest team.
Yes, but it can go wrong sometimes.
Yes, there's a thin line. There's a thin line you don't cross. There's a thin line you don't cross. Yeah. Now the third thing where I felt he wasn't intelligent enough was the red card in particular. Look, I'll come to Reece James because I have to big that boy up. But one thing I like about players is when they pick personal battles with certain people, you read a player's game and you play according to it. So when I remember there was one game Tomiyasu played with Salah, and he marked him very well. After the game, you could see it was like he said he's read his movements. Salah always wants to come inside, and that's why he, as a right-footed player, was marking him. So he nullified him very well. If Caicedo had watched Mikel Merino a lot, that turn and pass is something Merino does every game. And you see, it's in such a way that it wins a lot of fouls because he has so quick feet that you would think you are getting the ball, but his feet are so quick that you do not get it. I don't think Caicedo went to injure him.
Exactly. So
you see, there's one thing about Caicedo's tackling is he's very sure he's getting the ball, so he's going very hard.
He often does, so yeah.
And he often gets the ball. But when you're coming up against a player like Mikel Merino, that's the one trait you should know about him, that he's very quick with his feet. With shuffling the ball between 2 feet. So you could see that he missed the ball. He missed the ball by I think a second.
Yeah.
And that's what caused the red card, because had he been a bit more relaxed and calmer, that wouldn't have happened. He was too charged for the game.
Yeah. It's good it happened in the game. Also, Arsenal deserved the red card. That blue to Chalobah was a red card. It was a red card.
Wait, there wasn't intent. It was.
No, but it was,
Yeah,
it
but
was
you
a red
see-
card. We protect the head when we are playing football. He gave him Obolo here. It was a red card. Even though he scored. So for me, but you see, let me also criticize Arsenal's coach. And I've been praising him a lot. Taking Calafiori off was a tactical error.
He was on a yellow card.
No.
And he knew Chelsea. He said that Chelsea would target him.
No. A coach should get the confidence to go in hard when the team is a man down. It's only in the EPL that the coaches who have the man down wants to prove to you that they can do something with 10 men. So, Maresca, somebody, let me put it that way. He was nothing. Calafiori overlapping, Gusto will get a red card again. Calafiori's cutbacks and crosses will impact something in the box. The yellow card, they are a man down. This one, a yellow card. Neto is not going to foul this guy for him to get an extra red card. He's not going to foul Neto. So I felt like I was questioning the decision making of Mikel. Are you scared of 10 men? You are going to win the league. This is a game that all Arsenal fans were saying that if they get a draw, it's good because they need the points more than Chelsea, because you say you won't win the league. We all want to win, but everybody's stepping to win the league. So come to the bridge and get a 3 point. If you get 1 point, it can even haunt you in the future later. But the mindset, let me take Calafiori off and bring Skelly. Skelly is a fine player, invests very well, but he won't give you that attacking threat that what Calafiori will give you. So for me, why are you thinking for 10 men?
No, you see,
If I land you, I'll like him. Tactically, why are you thinking for 10 men? This guy's on a yellow card. We've seen players play. Yellow card is nothing.
I mean, Caicedo gets a yellow card in 5 minutes.
Yes.
You Cucurella got a yellow card early on.
I know he felt like the Chelsea players are playing like this, like they also want to get a red card, and they are acting like it, and the referee might do it, but you have to forget about it. Tactically, plan something, use this guy to your advantage, and cook, because Calafiori's best attributes was going forward, and they're a man down. So I was wondering why that change was made. Also, Merino scored the goal, was confusing the Chelsea midfield. Gyökeres added nothing to the game.
I think Gyökeres was very isolated when he came in.
I mean, he came in
and you see,
he came in like for like 20 minutes
this is
or
where
so.
I'll credit the Merino guy. I think we all thought it won't happen again when the Arsenal attackers come, but the guy is a number 9. It's a false 9. It's baby Firmino.
I think he's like, I was about to say he's like,
Yeah.
he drops deep. His positioning is impeccable.
Yeah.
So he's able to join the midfield to make up the numbers. Then he's able to pop up in the box at the right time. It takes a lot of tactical awareness to do that.
And I like watching Arsenal games. I don't know why, because I mean, as a panic, you have to watch. But aside that, the reason why Saka should start scoring goals for Merino dropping deep is that when he comes deep, a lot of spaces are there for you. But Saka also is beginning to lack that natural 1v1 complete of take-ons. And relying on, let me just draw the ball back, a pull back, and crossing, give us very good cause for my number 9 to score. Saka, I think I rate you. I mean, you've seen it all before Yamal and Ko Kim. Start completing your take-ons. Dribble the defender. Dribble the left back and move the ball and just find the left or right center. Stop there. Let me put the ball back and cross the ball. I have to fall. You have to be a natural. You're a natural. I know you to be a good dribbler. Start dribbling and moving your way around. I think he's becoming one way. And for me, I feel like if Madrid wants a profile at the right wing, you have to start looking at Saka and Co because they will help you defensively and start doing more. Because
why is Elikem laughing?
When Mourinho
Saka fits very nicely.
When Mourinho drops deep here, when he drops deep here, I think he focuses on the. You see, where did the red card happen? On the right half spaces.
Yeah.
That's where Saka is the more than the left winger. So you have to take advantage and do more because Timber, the best Arsenal player this season for me, overlaps. Interestingly, underlaps. That's everything spot on. That's why Neto, when our coach put Neto down, like, what are you doing? Neto is easy for Timber. Garnacho is easy for Timber. So probably you start Garnacho, start getting, let him maybe probably work. Nobody was going to stop Timber. So for me, Arteta lost those 2 points for Arsenal. Chelsea only knew that they had been a man down at Old Trafford and they will not be afforded to lose this game. They have to send this. That's why we just called it a statement.
But is it
with a draw?
But is it? Somebody said it was a mental master stroke from Maresca not to do anything when the red card happened.
And that's the application of common.
No, but it was the red card happened with 7 minutes left.
Yes, application.
So you just wait to go to halftime.
Because he panicked.
Yeah.
And then we were all clapping. He was.
You just wait till halftime and see.
And in being calm, what did he do in the second half? He brought in. He took Esteval off and brought in Garnacho to come and defend, to come and help Kukwela. They didn't even work. It didn't work. He didn't help in defensive contribution that much. It was all about Reece James. Reece James.
He took on the entire Arsenal
and Fofana and Sanchez. Let me finish Sanchez. Sanchez, the best keeper right now. Hey, so the only reason why
is it the same Sanchez you were talking about?
That one, the same one. The pass is on. So you see, let me big up Maresca for me. I like giving you your stuff. Maresca 3 things. Bring on Mike Mignon. I just said it was big.
Yeah, they say he's not signing any.
He said no, he wants Sanchez in his post. The guy has improved. The Club World Cup magic also picked him. And you see, he was the one playing as our CCB. Now his long balls are all spot on. Big up to Sanchez. There's some shots that he saved. Now he's getting it there. I don't want the one who give us that Sanchez vibe. He pass one.
Yeah, maybe one small mistake there is okay.
It's okay. He will do it again. But that one to credit to Maresca, full credit. Reece James in midfield, I didn't like the idea. Why? You cannot fault me as a Chelsea fan and as a pundit. Because I know what James will give you on the right wing, overlapping, everything on that side, defending. So he's a complete player. Now, to be playing midfield and bullying the Arsenal midfielders is something special.
He took them on all by himself.
Easy.
Because Enzo Fernandez was in the left half spaces.
Yes.
And Reece James was in the middle of the park all by himself.
Nobody.
But I think Chalobah did a good job by always pairing with him. So Chalobah was the extra midfielder in that game.
But for Arsenal's goal, Chalobah and Fofana went to sleep. We will get that.
I think because they had to recover. You see, Chalobah had to double up because Caicedo wasn't there. So he was a bit advanced in midfield. So he didn't recover well enough. And Fofana doesn't have the aerial ability to beat Merino to that ball.
It was a fantastic cross. So to end before he comes in, Maresca has proved us wrong with Sanchez and Reece James. And I know he will do it mostly in the big games. Now, of course, it's time for Fofana to go back and sit at home.
Why?
Because we should beat Leeds and Everton and go without Fofana. I don't know our next big game, Kosi. But if you go and play him, his next game should be against Newcastle. And if Maresca wins that game and wins or just against City, now he's a world-class coach in my books.
So you said Fofana should go and sit at home?
Home, Everton. Home, Bournemouth. Home, Leeds. Home, Atlanta. If you come second half, 10 minutes when we are winning, so that he will look fresh. Because he can be running or break the ball, then 2 months.
Like what's his name?
Like Lavia. So I know Maresca will listen to Adjor again. Leeds Chelsea, play champion.
So he said, for example, James is not going to play in the next game.
Yes, I mean, overload. You can't overload him. So James will be out. Andre Santos Enzo goes to right wing. I beg him, we know. So for me,
maybe a champion, but Achille is back.
But Achille is back. So for me, Kosi, Reece James has showed that he's a complete midfielder. And his only thing you can use to yob him is that when he's injured, he's not available.
But this season they've managed him.
And it's all thanks to Maresca. So I like how he managed the game. We could have even scored more. In fact, we were playing nice football with a man down. So Maresca is trying to put his name out there that he's one of the big boys. But big ups to Sanchez for tactical instructions with the long balls. And I've already sent the warning to Estevao. Estevao, you should know that when you are playing the big boys, you don't have to be selfish. I've put this in your DM. Open that chat and read it. When Palmer comes, don't try and be going for the glory. You are not Chelsea's best player. You are the star boy in my eyes. And the star boy for the Salas house. But calm down, Estevao. Else when they give agenda against you, you run away from the club. Nobody will call you. So please, Esther, I beg you, when they come, just give them the passes, okay? They like you, they'll feed you. Okay, you're selfish. I want to get the goal because of your mouth. You'll be in trouble. Now I have to do extra PR. So I beg him, pass the ball. Pass the ball. Do the cutback pass. Now he's the reason why at Stamford with the crowd is making noise. I'm telling you. But he will still manage his game. So for Kosi, I like what we did. But again, Kosi, this thing it is Chelsea. We can play so nicely against Arsenal.
Then you can go and mess up against Leeds United.
Against Leeds United. We don't want that. Because you are there. Now the gap is 6 points. City told us that thank you, just thank you for the draw. But even though they're not consistent. So we can worry Arsenal. Imagine we go to the Emirates and it's 3 points. We can do something. So Arsenal is favourites. We are under no pressure. But big ups to I've taken the name Kwake from Draper for 2 months. Oh no. This is why when he scores a goal, I'm saying, wow. Has the boy solved the problem? Is it too early for me to be happy? We are always confused.
But yesterday he had very good openings. And
is he an average player? Oh, my only hope is that Palmer complements him. So when he comes back, maybe we'll see a good.
What did you make of Delap as well when he came on?
No, Onyade. Bad. He was brought on to distort their defense and worry them. His ball breaking, nothing works for that guy. And now, again, quick one for the come. Watch this. Anytime Chelsea's defenders or Chelsea defense becomes stable, and number 9 problems rise.
Was McGeary on the bench?
Yeah, he was. I'm sure.
Was he on the bench?
Yeah, he was.
Because McGeary is usually. He came.
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't on the bench.
He wasn't on the bench.
Yeah, because usually Maguire is.
And that was not fair.
Very good at occupying.
Yeah, no space. I think that assist to Enzo against Burnley, he deserves to be on there. But maybe that's plans for the back-to-back games, the Leeds Everton game. So for me, because it was a nice game. It was a nice line. I like the fact that they shake Madueke small. After the game, they went to talk to him. Enzo is becoming proper Chelsea. He's giving us constant performances and consistency. I like that from him. I was happy that we were able to give Arsenal a taste of their own medicine with a corner kick from the near post.
Corner.
Yeah, but they are still the best in that. So for me, Arsenal is still favorite. It's difficult to beat them. I argue, if we had Gabriel and Saliba in this game, maybe 0-0. Or maybe they win.
Or they had Gabriel and Saliba and you had Cole Palmer. And
maybe again, Adjor equal. So for me, I think if we are consistent, we will worry Arsenal to become a London derby title cheese. So nice one there.
Elikem.
Yeah.
Arsenal, one of your biggest problems coming into this season was that centre forward position.
Yeah.
Marino has done a good job. Gyökeres was brought in to solve the problem. Has he? Watching him particularly in his last few games and also against Chelsea.
I mean, you cannot judge him by his performance against Chelsea. He's returning from a 3-week injury. Before the injury, he had his best half in an Arsenal shirt against Burnley. Then he got injured. He's coming back. I don't think he did a lot wrong. He didn't do it. He had very.
Probably stamping the goalkeeper.
Oh, come on. But I actually like that he went for that ball. That's no other striker will go for that ball. But he went for that ball because he felt it was an opportunity. And like strikers who are hungry for goals. That ball was there to be won. So I don't even think that was a yellow card. That was a yellow card.
I think it was. Oh, it was.
No, you see, he went for the ball and he got the ball. Only that Sanchez was there. They both got there at the same time. And you see, and I think Sanchez made a meal out of it. Because if you watch it very well, his feet was nowhere near his feet. But this guy was holding his face rolling around. So I mean, I can't really speak about Gyökeres in this game. This game wasn't about Gyökeres at all.
What was it about for you?
For me, this game was about Chelsea being pumped up for a London derby and Arsenal just wanting the game to go by. That's it. For me, I felt like Arsenal, given the week they've had, they were not ready for this intensity in this game. That was it. And given the circumstances leading up to the game, losing two of your best centre backs and going to a tough ground like Chelsea, who are very much in form and pumped up for it. But you see, Adjor mentioned a tactical error by Mikel Arteta. For me, I don't see it to be a tactical error. I just see it to be a player who let him down in Moises Kelly. Because when you have three of your back four on a yellow card, playing against 10 men, you should know two things. The opponent is going to target one of them. Now, Mosquera and Hikape are two players who are not going to be who are not going to be a pressured match with 10 men, because you know Chelsea are going to leave one man on them and they are going to deal with them very well. So they are low risk of getting a second yellow card. Now, Calafiori, looking at Chelsea pushing up two very fast wingers keeping two very fast wingers on the pitch for transitions, was at risk of getting a second yellow card. So it was a good move actually to take off Calafiori, because when you look at Moises Kelly and his skill set, he's a midfielder by trade. He's not a left back. He's a midfielder by trade. So what you're doing inadvertently is bringing on a midfielder to show up your midfielder and to give you that superiority in the midfield, that one man advantage in the midfield. Now, Moises Kelly nullified the whole idea by getting himself a yellow card almost 5 minutes after coming on.
Wasn't that because of the experience of Reece James? Reece James actually lured him into that.
No, I think his positioning and his movement for the yellow card was just too bad. In the end, he had to do it because it was going to be a dangerous counter for Chelsea. But I feel like that moment nullified whatever Arteta had planned, because back then you are back to facing what you were before the halftime whistle. Now three of your back four are on a yellow card again, and I feel that Chelsea also fed on that, in that they knew with that happening, Arsenal were not going to commit a lot of men forward. And in the end, and that was the case, because you watch very well, and Arsenal always knew that they were susceptible to be caught on transitions. So it affected the way they attacked Chelsea. And kudos to Maresca. When teams go one up against Arsenal, or let's see, when they go a man down against Arsenal, they sit back and they defend. And I felt like had he sat back and defended, it would have played into Arsenal's hands, because Arsenal now had the men to break him down. With Odegaard and Eze on the pitch, Arsenal had the men to break him down.
Talking about Odegaard, what did you make of his introduction?
I think he was okay. He was the reason Chelsea started back. He was the reason Chelsea's midfielders were not bombing forward anymore. Because when you have someone like Odegaard who can pick up and find the spaces you leave behind, you will be very cautious in pressing forward, pressing ahead and going forward. So I think he for some reason stabilized the game for Arsenal, in that he finally came on and Arsenal got a hold of the game, because now Arsenal had Chelsea in banks of 4 in their defense, and he could actually play around the Chelsea midfield and try to break them down. I thought Odegaard's introduction gave control to Arsenal, and that was what we expected of him. So for me, I felt the game. I felt Maresca deserved plaudits for the way he set up Chelsea after the red card, in that he didn't cower, he didn't try to sit back and defend, which would have allowed Arsenal the opportunity to attack him wave after wave and eventually break him down. But he made Arsenal worry of his threats in transitions, and he had a midfielder in Reece James who was simply exceptional on the day. Now I'm going to pick up two things Reece James did that made me know that this guy. You see, in NFL, when players come up against other teams, especially the quarterbacks, they read plays. So when you watch, I think in the NBA too, a player like LeBron James, one thing he prides himself in is he knows the play of every other team he's facing. So when you're bringing the ball up court from your end, he knows where the ball is going to go, and he knows every player and their strengths. He knows what they are going to do, and he's able to help the team better prepare and defend well against them. I felt like Reece James was in that mood yesterday. And two moments told me that. When Arsenal got their first corner kick of the game, I think it is a detail that flew over a lot of heads. If you watch Reece James very well, he picked up Jurriën Timber because he knew that was the danger in the Arsenal team. After with Gabriel injured, he just picked up Jurriën Timber and knew he was the man to tackle. And that sequence of play was very interesting because Timber, as soon as the corner came, Timber walked and stood at the far post, away from the post. Reece James picked him up and went to him to mark him. He actually he wasn't even watching the ball. He just marked Timber. Now Timber, seeing that he had been found out, called Calafiori. So Calafiori came to stand in order to make it a 2v1 and to distract Reece James, thinking Reece James' attention would be drawn to Calafiori, but no, he focused on Timber. And he made sure Timber never made a move into the Chelsea 6-yard box, into the Chelsea post, because that was the exact run Timber was going to make. Now go back to Arsenal's game against Bayern. The goal Timber scored, the header. What Timber did was he started from the back post, came and touched Neuer slightly. It wasn't a foul. You see, what he does is that he makes a contact which is not a foul, but will distort the keeper's concentration. Now it's a reflex action. You see how you are sitting there. When anyone comes close to you and pass by, you turn and look at him. So that's what happened in the Bayern game. Neuer turned, looked at him, and the moment Neuer turned, Saka was taking the corner. So as soon as Neuer's concentration came, he needed to make a move, and he tried to dive to get a ball and he didn't. Now Reece James, I'm sure, had been watching a lot of Arsenal corner kicks.
Also the fact that all the powerful players run into the box at the same time.
So, and you see, he didn't pick up any other player, only Timber, because he knew that's exactly the run Timber was going to be. And Timber was going to do that to Sanchez because he would touch him a little bit. Sanchez, his concentration is distorted. Then the corner comes in and he's all over the place. So that was what. So you could see that when the corner came in, Timber was on the ground because Reece James had abandoned him. He had abandoned him on the ground. Yeah. He had eliminated that threat. Now the second thing I noticed was when Moises Caicedo came on. You see, if you watch him very well as Arsenal, he has a particular run he does through the midfield, and you see, and I'm sure that was one of the reasons why Arteta brought him on. He picked up the ball in defense. And he ran, trying to dissect through Chelsea's midfield. Reece James read the move, and you see, and you see when one thing about that run is that when it happens, Mouse he's anticipating the contact from the opponent's midfielder, and he's able to bundle him. He's able to bounce off him and then give a pass. Reece James knew exactly what Mouse was going to do, so he was able to come in and win the ball off him. As soon as he did that, even as an Arsenal fan, I got up my feet and I said, yes, this is a guy who was prepared for the game. You could see that he had done extensive research on every player he was going to face. And he came up against them and he did very well. That's what I'm saying. Reece James yesterday, he proved to me that he's a very, very intelligent player. Yeah. And aside that, he's one who takes notice of the fine details in games. So for me, he delivered a captain's performance. I felt he was the man of the match against Liverpool. I don't think he won the man of the match award in that game. But against Arsenal yesterday, it was a superb performance, and I was very, very impressed by that kind of performance from Reece James.
And to add to what Adjor Elikem, the impact of Cucurella,
yes,
when we are about to execute a corner kick, it should be mentioned because drawing one of the key members of that setup in Arsenal shape, drawing him, moving with him to distract and distort, is very. We don't know the significance or how it impacts, but I know that it brings one player. It has like a keeper's attention on what is Cucurella doing here? Why is he moving close? Why? And he comes and just runs, and we don't know if you are going out swing, in swing, far corner. Yeah. So for me, I like how. Let's give credit to the Arsenal side piece coach. I mean, when you bring something beautiful into a particular league, everybody wants to learn. Yeah. But you see, what Arsenal used to beat every club is that with Arsenal they have different variations. Yeah. Because with this thing that Cucurella does, it happens all the time. So when the details of these coaches, they realize that, okay, now this is what Cucurella will do. Now they will give him 2 men. Yeah. Nobody so far has topped that yet. But somebody will. But with Arsenal, you wouldn't know. Example, Chelsea, Arsenal versus Bayern Munich. Different variations. Set piece. Arsenal did their run. Saka was targeting the far post. Wanting to score. So a lot of variation. I feel like the Arsenal players, they don't enjoy holidays. They are always in the tactical boardroom receiving instructions because they will give you different forms of variation. So I was so happy that we didn't concede from a set piece. Because Arsenal's set piece, I mean, they are the standard. Man, you are learning from it. Brentford are learning. So all those who went to outsource from Brentford with set piece coaches, Arsenal got the best. Chelsea's own from Mexico, he's doing quite a job. Man City's own, I think maybe they even want to probably let him go because nothing is working. So Brentford will continue to what? To coach, to bring out best coaches. If you want a coach, go to Brentford. A set piece coach, go to Brentford.
I mean, their current coach used to be their set piece coach.
And now look at Kosi. Let me surprise you. Funny enough, how he plays his football, how he balances the team. It's very nice than Thomas Frank. Like honestly, it's funny. And he has one thing: Henderson finding my number 9. I'll progressive pass. I'll follow you. The diagonal progression. The ball will go straight to him. Nobody has stopped that yet. So free up for EPL coaches. How do you stop it? Nobody has stopped it, and it's helping him win games. Maybe they are finding out with bit, but I mean that pass from Henderson will always go to Thiago. So this Brentford people, the project is very nice, and it's helping them. So of course, good game. I mean that game for a neutral Arsenal Chelsea was. But
even though Chelsea were a man down, right, they still had more shots than Arsenal.
Yeah, because they didn't sit back.
Yeah,
you see, they did.
Thanks to Reece James.
I think shots on target, Arsenal had more than Chelsea.
No, they both had 4 shots on target.
Yeah, but okay, but the thing is, they didn't sit back, and that's why I'm saying I give credit to Maresca because had he sat back and allowed the game to settle, it would have played into Arsenal's favor. The high intensity, everyone charged up for the game, affected Arsenal. And you see, one thing Arteta did that I liked so much was that, you see, you might be tempted with a man up to risk it and go for it. But he understood what was going on. He never played to the emotions of the game, and he allowed the game to come to him. It came very late, although, but it eventually came to him. He tried to create, and we created a few very half chances and openings, but he didn't get the win. But you see, that's what I'm saying. When people say, why didn't he go for it? Why didn't no? With the kind of temperament in this game, you don't just go for it. And bear in mind, one people are forgetting this. Chelsea needed to win this game more than Arsenal.
Oh, Elikem, I sure. That I won't agree with you.
Look, before the game, it was a 6-point gap between Chelsea and Arsenal. I told you here that Chelsea were Arsenal's biggest competitors for the league title.
Fair enough.
Now, when you're playing, let me give you when in the 2014-2015 season, Jose Mourinho said something that's always stuck with me. Chelsea were 7 points ahead of Arsenal, ahead of their trip to the Emirates. Arsenal were for the most part of the season, Arsenal were not challenging Chelsea for the title. But Arsenal, from January to, I think the game was played in April, had grown a rich vein of form and were beginning to win matches and had closed the gap to 7 points. Now, Mourinho, ahead of that game, was asked, after the game, I think it was a 0-0, it ended 0-0. He was asked why his team, who have been in good form all season, didn't go for it more. You know the statement he made? He didn't need to win at Emirates to win the league title because he was already 7 points ahead. All he needed to do was to leave with those 7 points intact. At some point in the game, I felt Arteta looked at it and said, look, I'm not going to be able to beat these boys now. I'm not going to take an unnecessary risk and lose this game, cutting down my 6-point lead over them to 3. You understand? And when you do that, you cut down your lead, your lead over City to 4. Now, when you cut down the lead when the lead is cut down to 3, it means Chelsea, if they play before Arsenal on in midweek, Tuesday, might go above you on the table. It's a small detail people ignore, but it is very, very important.
Elikem,
mentally.
This same Mourinho told us that if you start drawing, in the league, if you want to win the title, it's a problem.
But you see, Arsenal have drawn 3 games in 13 games. 3 games in 13. And lost 1.
Good.
You see, and it's not a bad return.
Good.
You don't expect Arsenal to win every game.
But everybody knows that Arsenal are favorites to win the league. So it's more pressure. If you have to win this game more than Chelsea.
A league season, in a league season, I'm saying Chelsea needed
the pressure more than Arsenal.
I'm saying Chelsea needed to win this game more because Chelsea, in a bid to put themselves in the title conversation, had they won, which I felt it was well within their hands to win this game, would have cut down the lead to 3. Then they come in and be that third force in the title race.
Okay.
And I felt a win for Chelsea would have shifted momentum in the title race to their side. And that is why I believe, that is why I like Arteta's move so much in not overly risking.
Hold on, if Chelsea had won this game, they would have been on 26 points.
Yes, and Arsenal would have been on 29.
No, Arsenal currently have 30.
Yes, so they would have lost.
Okay, 29. No, okay, so one extra point would have been on 29.
Yeah. So it would have been a 3-point difference. So for me, as an Arsenal fan ahead of this game, I was really surprised when I heard people say, "Let's go and smash them. Let's go and smash them." I said no. At the very least, come out of Stamford with your 6 points.
For the red card,
yes.
That's why
I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that.
To make sure.
I'm coming to that.
Yeah.
So for me, I was saying, look, at the very least, come out of Stamford Bridge with your 6 points gap still intact. You understand? Now the red card changed the whole thing. But I actually feel the red card played into our hands a bit because we were not playing well. It was a very bad day for Arsenal. So you see, at the end of the day, when you look at it, when you look at the week through a larger lens, playing Tottenham at home, a London derby, always an intense moment, always an intense game. Sorry, playing Bayern Munich at home, who are probably the best team in Europe. Then you are playing Chelsea away at Stamford Bridge, a Chelsea side who are in a very, very good form. To come out with two wins and a draw, it's not bad. Maybe the red card will make it a little bit disappointing, but in a larger context, to go to these 3 games, 3 of your toughest games, all in a week, with all the injuries you have, and let's not forget, you lost 2 of your best defenders, probably Gabriel being your best player this season. You lost 2 of them in this week, and still come out with this. It's not a bad return. For me, I would have preferred us to have the draw in the Bayern game and win the 2 Premier League games, because I feel for the Champions League we are fine. We'll qualify in the top 8.
I think mathematically you've qualified.
Yeah, we'll qualify in the top 8. But you look at it in the context of what has happened in the last week, and I felt the draw at Stamford Bridge is not that bad a result for Arsenal fans to be worried about. Look, let me say this to conclude. Mikel Arteta is not winning games to win stupid banter wars on football Twitter. He's trying to win a Premier League title. So don't be wanting the team to win so that you can throw your Chelsea friends on Twitter. No. He's going to take calculated risk in order to move his team closer to that Premier League title that has evaded us for so long. And I really respected what he did. I really like that the emotions of the game didn't get to him. He wasn't tempted to take more risks, because this Chelsea team were set up to punish. It got to a point in the second half. The only thing Chelsea were waiting for was for Arsenal to make a mistake, so they pounced on it, and they had the men to pounce on it.
Yeah. And funny enough, Arsenal had 6 yellow cards. Yeah. Chelsea had 1.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what scared.
You see, you see, that's. I told you I was going to speak out of a referee. Reece James made this point, and he said, in a London derby, even John Terry made this point. It's a fired London derby. Both teams are supposed to be up for it, but when you give 3 yellow cards in 15 minutes, it takes something away from the game.
But that's him.
And you see, Adjor made a statement at the start of the season that we shouldn't be talking about referees every
game.
We
won't waste our time on them.
But you see, they keep bringing themselves into the conversation. Every time they keep bringing themselves into the conversation. Look at what happened in the Liverpool game. Look at that Paqueta. You see, people are blaming Paqueta, and that's why I have a problem. People are blaming Lucas Paqueta for that red card. But if you go back and analyze it very well, the first yellow card was unfair. That is not a yellow card. And you see, if players are not going to be able to express or to able to show us some emotion after being wrongfully booked, then what is the game going? Where is the game going to? I really, really like that he came out and he put out that statement on his Twitter. I was really, really happy with that, because it's like when that happens, you see that over the years, over the past couple of months, with everything that has been happening to him off the pitch, he's going to be picked on by many referees, and that should change.
Anyway, 2059. We are still live on Sport FM. The Arsenal-Chelsea game dominating the headlines. But we'll open the phone lines because I'm sure the Arsenal fans and the Chelsea fans have quite a lot to tell us. 0542 571 061. 0542 571 061. Let us hear from you.